I've been tagged, and this is the top 10 Silver Age comic books in my collection. Are you guys ready? Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome guys to another episode of Comics with Phonics, and today I am going to be showing you guys the top 10 Silver Age comic books of my collection. I was tagged by Alex the Comic Hoarder, Automatic Comics, and AA Comics to show the top 10 comic books of my collection. I decided that I'm going to be showing all Silver Age, and we're going to be starting from number 10, 10 being the lower value and number 1 being the highest value comic book in my collection. I want to give a big shout out to Alex the Comic Hoarder for starting these tag videos. I want to go ahead and tag Raleigh Comic Book Collector, Dragon Ink Comics, and Luther Manning. Hopefully you guys are able to watch this video, and you guys can also put up a video of your own for the top 10 comics of your collection. So let's go ahead and get started with number 10. Starting with number 10, we're gonna have Avengers number 4. This is the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America, and this is just a beautiful copy. This is a huge significant book in the Marvel Universe. As you guys probably know, Captain America was originally from the Golden Age in the 1940s. And in Avengers issue number 4, he comes back and joins the Avengers. Originally, I had this copy as a 2.0, and I felt it was a higher grade. So what I did was, it was cracked, pressed and cleaned and resubmitted, and it came back a 3.0. So I'm super happy with this copy, and definitely a great book at number 10. And the next book on the list at number 9 is Incredible Hulk number 2, the very second appearance of Incredible Hulk, and the first issue where he is green. In Incredible Hulk number 1, he's gray. So this is the very first time that you see our awesome hero in the color green. One of the more rare books in my collection. Very, very tough books to find in the wild. Being super scarce, I felt this was worthy of the number 9 spot. Recently completed this run, so I'm super happy to have this copy. And this copy also presents super nice for a 2.5. Such an awesome key in the number 9 spot. And now at number 8, we have an awesome key within the Amazing Spider-Man run. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. When I returned to the hobby back in 2019, this was one of the first books that I had my eye on. Just an awesome villain in the Green Goblin, and I love this yellow cover. Also, the Incredible Hulk makes an appearance in this book as well. Presents really nice with this copy at a 4.0. One of the important and iconic keys in Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm super happy to have this book. And speaking of iconic, at number 7, we have Fantastic Four number 48, the first appearance of Silver Surfer and the cameo of Galactus. This is just a beautiful copy, and it comes in at a 5.0. Absolutely love the colors on this book too. One of my favorite Fantastic Four keys. When I picked up a collection about 2 years ago, this was one of the books I ended up keeping, and this is so deserving of number 7 on the list. If you guys are enjoying the content so far, please give me a like, hit the subscribe button so you guys can follow the new content that I release on this channel. And at number 6, we have one of the most important books in my collection, one of the first big mega keys that I picked up when I returned to the hobby. It is X-Men number 1, the first appearance of the original X-Men, and also the first appearance of Magneto and Professor X. This is a 2.5 with off-white to white pages. My copy also has a store stamp right on top of the title there. And this is one of my favorite books in my collection just because I'm a huge X-Men fan. Sometimes I still feel that it's unreal that I have this book in my collection just because of how I grew up loving the X-Men, watching the cartoons, reading the X-Men books, And overall, I just feel like this is one of the last books that'll ever leave my collection. Super grateful and blessed to have this book. We are now on the top 5 books of my collection, and the hits keep coming. The next one is Amazing Spider-Man #1. The first time Peter Parker Spider-Man appears in his own series. First issue of one of the most epic runs in Marvel and comic book history. This is the first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson and the Chameleon, and also the first time that the Fantastic Four crosses over to the Spider-Man title. Hardly any chipping on the edges on this book. Still has not been cleaned or pressed, which is kind of tempting for me to resubmit this to see if it can get higher. But at the moment, I am pretty happy with this copy. I was able to pick this copy up at the beginning of 2021 when the prices were still affordable. So I'm super happy that I picked this up when I did. And at #4, we have the first appearance of Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four #5. This is a great looking 3.5, and this was also purchased by me towards the beginning of 2021. Roughly around the same time I purchased the Amazing Spider-Man #1. Sometimes you never know when you're going to be able to come across one of these books. I remember it being really tough to research this book to find out who was selling it. One day I came across the Facebook Marketplace and it happened to be for sale. It was one of the first purchases I made overseas and I was really nervous about it. In the end, I'm super glad that I made the purchase because since then it has been increased quite a bit in value. So I got it at a pretty good price, even though it's not by any means a cheap book, but it has been going up ever since. And I feel like it still has a lot of potential. So very, very nice book at #4 on the list. And I'm super happy as a Doctor Doom fan to have this book. And I'm super excited as we get to the top 3 books in my collection. And if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that these are some mega keys for Marvel. And at #3, we have Fantastic Four #1, the very first appearance of the Fantastic Four, and the first book that ushered in the Marvel Universe. This is a 1.8 CBCS, one of the only CBCS books I have in my collection, but I absolutely love this book. Presents pretty well for a 1.8. You can see that it has quite a bit of scratches and color loss, but still pops where it needs to, like the Thing orange on the Thing here pops quite a bit. So love the presentation of this book. Sometimes I just look at this and I feel like the importance of this book can never be understated just because of how big this book was for Marvel. Pretty much saved Marvel from being extinct, which is crazy when you think about it. If it wasn't for this book, there wouldn't be Spider-Man, there wouldn't be Incredible Hulk. So saying that this is one of the best books in Marvel, it definitely deserves to be up there. Sometimes I still can't believe it's in my collection, but there you have it at #3, Fantastic Four #1. And at #2, smashing its way up to the top 2 is Incredible Hulk #1, the very first appearance of the Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner. And this is an unrestored copy at 1.5. Super vibrant colors on this book with the purples and the yellows. One of my favorite covers for all mega keys. I purchased this book from New Force Comics, and when I was coming across this book, I wasn't even planning on buying it. I was actually in the market for an Amazing Spider-Man 1 at the time, but when Rick from New Force Comics said that he had an Incredible Hulk, I had to jump on it. Even though the budget was for Amazing Spider-Man 1, I feel like the scarcity and the rarity of this book, especially it not going on sale very often, I just had to pounce on it, and now it's getting the love that it deserves. That's been super hot lately. in the comic book market, just because these books don't come around too often. And when collectors have this book in their collection, very, very tough to let it go. So very deserving of number 2, we have The Incredible Hulk. And are you guys ready for number 1 of the collection? This has always been one of my dream books of my collection. I've had a couple copies, which is crazy for me to even think about that this is my second copy, but it is Amazing Fantasy number 15. Every time I look at this book, it still makes me smile. I can't believe that I have a copy in my collection. This, of course, is the first appearance of Spider-Man Peter Parker and first appearance of Uncle Ben and Aunt May. This is a 2.0 CGC copy, and it presents super nice. I still feel like the colors on this still pop. Still has some gloss on the cover. Really not a lot of distractions on the cover. The Marvel chipping is still bearable, and I feel like this is one of the most nice presenting 2.0s that I've come across. Even though it has some tape on the inside, doesn't bother me too much. I used to have a 3.0 and I've sold that copy since, had some crazy seller's regret, but now I have a 2.0 and I'm so happy to have this. It's going to be staying forever in the collection. And this one, if you guys haven't checked out the video of how I acquired this, I'll go ahead and put a link to the video up top here. Went over to meet one of my fellow collectors in San Francisco area, was able to pick up this book in person. One of the greatest transactions for a collectible I've ever had. And it's going to be hard to top this book, and I don't think I will ever top it, but again, super happy to have this copy. One of the very last books that will likely go in the collection. Super fortunate to have a piece of history in the collection, and at number 1, very, very tough to top. So thank you so much, guys, for checking out my top 10 Silver Age books in my collection. And if you guys are watching this video, you guys are also tagged. So go ahead and show those videos of your top 10 in your collection. It can be of any era. It can be slabbed. It can be raw books. I just want to see more of those top 10 videos. Gotta love these tag videos that Alex.comichoarder puts out. So with that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me here on Comics with Bonix. And as always, collect your passion. We'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.